Yo, 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 yo. Yes, now, blessed now. Don't forget the rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, signing in. Kublai Khan. Does somebody want to inform me how I pronounce the title of this band? Recommended by Joel via the Patreon. Thank you, Joel. Joel's put me onto some pretty heavy bands as of recent. And we're jamming out the new EP. Well, I say new, 2 years back it states it was uploaded. I don't know if they've put out anything as of since, but relatively new EP by the band. It says Kublai Khan TX, so there must be a couple of bands, and this one derives from Texas. Is that right? Am I right in saying that? I've heard a couple of clips from this band before. Seem pretty heavy. Do seem pretty heavy. Considering, Joel, you've only asked me to put on 5 tracks, 5-track EP. There's potential I might check out the first record as well if I get a little moment. I'll give you a little more bang for your buck, all right, mate? Because I'm happy to check this band out. I'm happy for people to request a little bit of hardcore, to be honest. Because and I know it's not strict hardcore. It's probably you know, a little metal infused, but you know where I'm coming from. I'm happy for people to recommend a couple of hardcore acts because it's quite rare I can find new material on this channel to listen to that I haven't checked out before, just due to the extent of my autistic special interest within this form of music, or at least when I was, you know, younger and had the time to devote to just smoking bud and just scrolling through YouTube and Spotify all day long. So this is Swan Song. It features Scott Vogel of Terror. Let's jump in, shall we? Let's see what we're saying. Shout out to Joel once again. Peace, one love. Let's go.
To all the ladies working Iowa 80, someone pushing to the chrome on the interstate.
He's even in the music video.
Working long nights, and by every man you ever loved. Till your heart dies. You're my mother, you're my sister, and a donut tonight. For every bruise, an excuse, I've been too good at hide. For all the fear, every tear, slowly burning your sight. For every moment in the light, I fucking see you tonight. Goddamn.
Crazy low end. Can hear that bass guitar pop through. I mean, normally when it's just like chug heavy, low denominator, drop tune guitar music, the bass tends to just get lost, especially when we're just playing the root notes alongside following the guitar. But that bass really pops in the mix. You know what I mean? And like I've said before, these headphones don't really go mad on bass. What tune are we in, bro? It sounds like Drop A or something daft like that on them single up. Boom, boom. Rise Records. This is the gentleman's anthem. This is the gentleman's hardcore anthem, innit? Shout out to all the ladies out there, you know what I mean? Come on now. It's nice. Nice sentiment, innit? This is gonna sound mad given I've not really followed the lyrical content, right? And we've got lyrics. To all the ladies working Iowa 80, selling to the chrome on the living hard lives, hit by everyone. Right, give me 1 second, yeah? You should have lyrics. Have you got lyrics on screen as well, yeah? Because Arguably, it could be quite corny. Arguably. But I don't want to take away the message. I don't want to take away the intended message, alright? Because I know it's a deep one. Come on now. I'm not taking the piss, alright? But it's hard to do. As a fella, writing tough music, it's hard to write a song like this. I would assume, right? So there's quite a like a literal direct statement here. It says effing something at age 4 on the floor of a chicken coop. I saw her casket effing covered in flies. So that's pretty direct. So is this a direct reference? Let me tell you, right? You want a reaction? I think the expletives, I think the the effing and jeffing sort of devalues the message they're trying to get across. But then again, I don't necessarily know conceptually what we're speaking of. Is it just the women who've fallen on hard times and have unfortunately had to, live to the streets? Either way, these dudes must be serious. They got Scott Vogel on the track. I got to put some respect on Kublai Khan's name for that. I got to put some respect on that. Let's go.
I'm worthy, and just because I have something.
Wait, are we gonna have a bold statement to the end, or are we gonna have a bold statement going into a beatdown? What's going on? You know what? I appreciate the artistic merit of this because I've had plenty to. There's been plenty of food for thought. There's been plenty of food for thought, and that is great art. That is great art. When it gets you thinking, when it gets you talking. I mean, sometimes I'll be on a reaction and I'll just be like, all right, a few good riffs. This has been good. This has been good.
As a tool, meaning my tits, my ass, and my pussy, that I can come higher with my brain. I've learned that a real person, you do not have to take shame for anything that you do when you did it for a means to an end. And I've learned to not be ashamed of anything that I've done. And that my todays and my yesterdays, they can be my business, but I can share with the world. Don't be ashamed of it.
Yeah, it's sample to the end.
From it. And whenever you have to do it, you can call it what you want to. But I'm still, you gotta survive.
Interesting. Let's have a look at the comments. See what people are saying. So someone says this band deserves just as much attention as Not Loose, Code Orange, or even Turnstile. You know what? Definitely within that crowd, that Knocked Loose sound. I don't know where Code Orange are nowadays. Like, I didn't really listen to them in the first place. I saw them when they were touring, what is it? Was the record called I Am King or something along the lines of that? They came over here when they were touring that. It was Ignorant around that time. Had a little bit of a reputation to have a good dance to, so that was a good show. I actually performed on that show, believe it or not. It was a good crowd. Turnstile, yeah, I won't. Turnstile are just in another realm right now, right? Real men respect women, yeah, no doubt. There we go. You know what? People are rating it. God of Wine says, only thing heavier than the riffs are the feels that come along with the lyrics. Well said. Couldn't agree more, yeah. Honeycutt brings the gravity. Lyrics like gutter gospel. Very poetic. Talk about the raw human experience, yeah. Can't hate on that, can you? Somebody says he gets shat on a lot for his simple lyricism, but that's precisely what I love about it. You know what? I would agree with that. Okay, look at this. We might have some context here. I watched an interview of him talking about how his mother lives basically in a cigarette butt littered shed in someone's backyard. I grew up in Section 8 housing. My mother was an alcoholic and put us through hell for fighting addictions. So, yeah, fair shout. There was definitely some connotation to real life, right? Like I said, there was a very concentrated couple of lines in there. Matt and Scott sound like they're calling out misogyny for a fist fight, and I'm here for it. Yeah, I think no comment. There we go. That's what I was looking for. As a woman, thank you. That's all I can say. I was looking for that. I didn't want to hear a lot of men just talking about this means the world. You know what I mean. I wanted to see a woman comment. So that's brilliant. Oh shit! Right, looks like we're going to track number 2. Accidentally loyal to none. All right, let's hope for some breakdowns. To be fair with you, the context of that song was actually so unique and good that I didn't really pick up too much on the instrumental and the music because we were absorbed within the storytelling. So that was brilliant. We got Loyal to None coming up next. All right. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Kublai Khan. Once again, I apologise if I mispronounced the name. I don't know how it is pronounced. It's devoted to Joel, who recommended it via the Patreon. Fair shout, Joel. Lowest form of animal. Only 5 tracks. It's an EP. Let's go. Well produced. Nice. Come on. Come on.
It's hard.
Reoccurring theme, eh?
I want to be normal so bad, but I don't know it yet.
Reoccurring theme. We might have a pattern throughout this record. Couple of samples there at the end. Pretty cool. Good sound. What genre would you call this music? This, to me, would fit in what I would consider heavy hardcore. That's what I call it. Heavy hardcore. From drop D to below. Anything along the lines of this, that's what I classify as. It's not beatdown, is it? Let's be fair, it's really not beatdown music. Some would argue maybe it is, but it's heavy hardcore, innit? Not too bad at all, not too bad. It's good music for a mosh. Let's have a little dig. So So that Brit 2005 says Spite and these dudes really carrying Rise on their backs. I was surprised when I saw it was Rise Records. I've not heard out from Rise. I thought Rise Records went under, to be fair. I didn't know they were still putting records out. Last time I heard it, last time and potentially the only time I heard of Rise Records is there was a big controversy about how they were handling the artist. But that's just like record label 101, innit? Every artist gets fucked over by an half decent record label. That's just the way them contracts roll. I never listened to Spite, so I can't really comment on that. And I don't really know the roster of Rise. I associate them with like techno breakdown bands. Am I wrong in saying that? Like 2000s, you know, Asking Alexandria-esque Attack style bands. Someone said the best hardcore vocals in their opinion, Joseph Rivera. Honeycut's a ferocity like no other. He sounds vicious. Feels like a new Slipknot that has deep vocals. Interesting. And somebody's actually says, I came to the same conclusion. Wow. Slipknot. Fair. I love how this band merges the best of metal with a real unique hardcore sound. Even the styles of their breakdowns using sounds or guitar cutouts is sick. Yeah, it's somewhat reminiscent of the bands that were going in the 2000s, like the tight as hell breakdowns. Cause it came to a point like, mid 2010s onwards, where every breakdown just sort of got influenced so much by beatdown music, at least over here, that it was always just like a borderline slam or beatdown-esque sort of play about. Not just like an open string chug fest, which we used to have in the early 2000s. One of the heaviest bands right now. Definitely heavy. One of the very few bands that's keeping the hardcore scene alive, says Omar. Yeah, you're chatting out your ass. That's complete nonsense. One of the few bands that are keeping the hardcore scene alive. That's absolute nonsense. Let's be fair. I don't think hardcore's going to be slowing down momentum-wise anytime too soon. Let's be fair. Yeah, let's keep going. Taipan coming up next. It's only 1 minute 13, so we'll see if there's enough food for thought. I'll see you there. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Kublai Khan. Lowest Form of Animal, it's called. It was recommended via the Patreon by Joel, who's put me onto a few half-decent bands now, so thank you for that. This one's only 1 minute 12, so I don't know if it's a gap in between two songs, or if it's like a, you know, just a brief number. We're going to get into it. If we've got enough to say, we'll call it a day. If it's, you know, doesn't give us much food for thought, we'll also put Resentment, which is track number 4 in the same video. Let's go. Yes. Was that a bass drop? Did you hear that? That sub drop. Sub bass there. Bro, there's not been enough bass drops going on nowadays. But then again, I've sort of out of the loop when it comes to deathcore music and stuff like that. I've not heard a bass drop live in such a long time. Where we going? Have we got some? There we go. Picked up on that. Little brief number. Couldn't really hear the sample in all honesty with the feedback over the top. I have no problem with the 1 minute 12 minute song. Because it is an old school hardcore way. Yes, interesting. And an old school hardcore way. Yes. People getting excited at the length of this song. Kublai Khan is the only band I get excited about seeing a 1 minute track length. So we've heard all but one song now. Also a 1 minute song and a 5-song EP. Damn. The groove is so intense in every song. Says Juan Cruz Fabi. Is that how you pronounce the name? Yeah, I like the blast beat. I did like the blast beat. I thought it was coming in for round 2. You should have seen me air drum in there. When it was like, it came in double time second time around. Completely mugged me off. But it took me for a ride. We've got Resentment coming up next. Let's keep going, people. Let's keep going. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to The Lowest Form of Animal, which is the 5-track EP by Kublai Khan, Texas. So there must be another band with the same name, which are from elsewhere, and it became a little bit of a hassle. That's why they've had to put the TX in the tingling. Right, irresponsibly hard apparently. Let's go for it. Resentment. Shout out to Joel. Let's go.
Just swing at me. Give in to madness, sweetness, toxic symptoms of a wounded pressure. Failure, meaning is wrong, but now it's plain to see that you have seen beneath me. Witness my frailty as I bleed. Still, I do as I please. Outlast my welcome. Destroy your kindness. Don't deny this violence you're hiding. So take a swing at me. For every fucking thing I've done to you. So take a swing at me. The simple truth is I deserve to lose. So take a swing at me. Don't let me be of use. So take a swing at me. Tossing and turning. My mind grapples with them. To the point of low so anger. Check by anyone. Overrun with malfunction because I'm not through problems, mistakes, heartaches, till I erupt. Give in, which led me to you, and I'll burn that bridge through. Don't deny this resentment inside. So take a swing at me.
Come on.
For every fucking thing I put you through. So take a swing at me. The simple truth is I deserve to lose. So take a swing at me. Kill me. Don't let me be of use. So take a swing at me. Swing at me. Swing at me. Look at me. Take it out on me. Madness. Sweetness. Toxic. Symptoms of a wounded pressure. Failure. Beating us both.
That was good.
But I still like the movies that I make. You know? I just hope at some point in time I decide to do something different and it's not too late.
That was good. That was the best track on this EP. So far, I mean, we've got one more to go, but this riff here.
Don't let me be of use. So take a swing at me. Swing at me. Swing at me. Look at me.
This is the best riff on the record. That's the best riff on the record. That was really good. That was just grooving. I like that one a lot. That was really good. We've got Dynasty to finish off.
Yours in 2 bites.
There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Dynasty is the last track of this record. We've been listening to the Kublai Khan Lowest Form of Animal EP. 5 tracks. It's been a good listen. The production has been really good. The sound engineering has really given this band great justice. Really worked well with the sound of this band, no doubt. I really like the fast sections, to be fair with you. They tend to keep it low and slow for the most part, but I think it doesn't get too muddy when it comes to the fast bits, which is really good. This last track, Dynasty, let's go. Let's go now. Come on. One, two, three, four. Come on. Let's go. That's hard, that. Diddle-a, diddle-a. Diddle-a, diddle-a. Catchy, that. Get up, Java, come on. Get up. Five-track record, heavy band. Is going to finish with what they would perceive as the heaviest riff. That's the way it's going to go. So we're going to finish off with what they perceived as the heaviest riff to put on this record, the best mosh riff. Let's see what they've done. Eve.
Before lives were saved, kingpins of world crisis, detox, life succumbs to your thoughts. Another dynasty killed by Bill Mills, and Medlock subblocks to fall. I hate my do what they had to do. I did what I had to do. And they just have to let the rough end drag.
Cool. You know what? Just I've seen this band knock around for a bit. Maybe it's the TX band, because I was considering another band initially. Or I had a preconception. I had a preconceived notion that this band would have been a bit outdated. This is a very modern, cool band. I thought it'd be like a 2000s sounding metalcore, like drier sound of band. A bit out of date, so to speak. Is there two bands called this in the hardcore scene? One of them being a little bit longer? Because I don't know where I got this opinion from. I'm surprised that a lot of people in England don't necessarily plug this band, because I don't know why a lot of people won't get behind that sound. You know what I mean? Such as people, the bands people referenced in the earlier comments, Code Orange, Not Loose. You know, this is a very easy band to get along. I was looking through the comments, and you know, people say this, right? Hands down one of the best guitar tones in heavy music, grittiest vocals in the hardcore scene, right? A lot of people are talking about the hardcore scene, and I think it comes down to naivety. I think these dudes are definitely approaching a market which are aware of hardcore but aren't necessarily involved within it, or at least are within more so of a pop market. You know, like a big 2,000 cap venue, 3,000 cap venue circuit, which is brilliant. Like, props to success, right? As opposed to, like, you know, hardcore. I don't know why I say that, to be honest with you. But basically, to put a long story short, these dudes are definitely approaching a particular type of audience that spans beyond, you know, ignorant hardcore mosh music fans. Like, there's definitely a crossover with metal, metal heads, and, you know, what once would be considered scene kid, you know, bands. I enjoyed that. I'm going to do one last video where I give an overview, and I'll give you my final thoughts of this record. I'll see you there, people. Yo, yes now, bless now, people. It's Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. I've got a little review for you, a little album review. It's going to be the last time I'll say this, so I apologise if I mispronounce the name. Is it Kublai Khan? Something along the lines of that. I got recommended to put this 5-track EP on by Joel via the Patreon. Joel, you put me on some right music, mate. You've definitely got a type, you, Joel. You've definitely got a sound. You like a particular sort of music. My man Joel's been putting me on to some metalcore adjacent, heavy hardcore style music. And this is probably one of the heavier bands I've been put forward to. At least as far as production is concerned. A very modern production. The album was, or the EP was Lowest Form of Animal. Alright? 5 tracks. Overall, we're probably looking at, what, 15 minutes of music, if that? That's, let's round it up, yeah? Let's call it 3:30, 7 minutes. Yeah, let's call it 15 minutes, either side, of music. It was good. It was consistent. Very groovy. It's my first real introduction to this band. I've seen them uploaded every once in a while on like live music channels, you know, like your Hate 5-6 and your, I don't know, like, you know, your Hate 5-6 adjacent things, like, I don't know, Feet First Productions and stuff like that. Heavy band. I've never really checked them out of much depth. In all honesty, it's not necessarily my sound. Bit too heavy. I'll tell you what, when it comes down to pitting and stuff like that, I'm not a mosher who can do the whole beat down sort of thing. I just can't mosh like that. I haven't got the mobility to mosh like that, in all honesty. And yeah. I do love a bit of pit beef, but I don't want to be a participant, in all honesty. So it's not necessarily my style, although it was a good sound. What shall I start by commenting on? First and foremost, one of the first things I picked up on was the... I've got to give props to the sound engineer. The sound engineer is essentially like the extra member of this band on this record, because the sound engineering was really good. The sound engineering, the production value, gave the band so much emphasis, because when you're drop tuned to this, and you are so overt with your distortion, and your vocals are so harsh, in order to give clarity to a record to the degree this has had, to the point where I'm hearing the bass prominently, even though they're playing the root note of the general guitar riff. I've got to give a money well spent Money well spent. Money well spent. Really good. Really good. Sound engineer gets first props. Vocals are cool. Everybody loved the vocal. In the comment section, everybody were loving the vocals. To me, you know, a little bit metal. I like some weird guy doing weird things. Or some, you know, if we were to compare and contrast, I like the high shriek of a, you know, the intensity of a Knocked Loose. But arguably, to take it deeper than that, if we're going to talk metalcore-esque music, yeah, I like the grim and frostbitten shrieks of the old school, like over something like that. That's what I'd like. You know, the rough and gruff sort of metal vocal. I'm not too fussed on, to be honest with you. I'm not too fussed. I didn't know what tuning this was in. Sometimes when we had the single string picking thing, I'd argue it was in drop A. I would argue it was in drop A. I've had experience, like, I was around during deathcore. Like, when I was getting into extreme music, deathcore was like the first real wave of deathcore. Not like, you know, the 90s precursing sort of foundation. Like when deathcore was deathcore in the mid-2000s, I heard about 20,000 drop B bands. And this sounded a little bit heavier. I would argue it was drop A. But somebody correct me if I'm wrong there. Cool mosh music, very groovy. Lyrically speaking, a lot of people got behind the lyric. A lot of people were saying, you know, real lyrics and so forth. So the fact that these dudes are touching people with the lyrical content, that's definitely props. That's brilliant. The first song in particular, I had a few things to talk about because it could have been executed in such a terrible manner. So it was a song, you know, by the fellas for the women, and that's a hard thing to pull off. That is a hard thing to pull off because obviously we go through separate plights and we can't see through the eyes or speak through the mouths of, you know, the yin to our yang, so to speak. So it's very hard to pull off. But it was good and it touched people. People were commenting saying, you know, it was tasteful. So fair shout. Now, what more can I say? By default, you get a little bit of credibility for having Scott Vogel doing guest features on the track, even turning up to the music video. You know what I mean? That's an extra little bit of correspondence. I don't think I've seen Scott Vogel do guest vocals on a track before, so that was pretty cool. I'm not going to rate this out of 10 because it was an EP, and I don't think I'll do it justice by doing so, because I think it was a good record. And I don't want to downplay it because of purely it's not necessarily my taste. But I enjoyed what I heard. I bet they're tight as hell live. Considering the sound engineering was so good, I don't know if it would create an underwhelming sort of live performance. Because like I said, when you drop tune to that low and you have that sort of ferocious vocal, and you have such a tightness on the record, even though there's such a massive distortion upon the instrumentation, I don't know if that would actually downplay the live performance, because I don't know how you can sound. You have to be super tight if you want to sound like this live. Like, I don't know how they would pull that off. But hey, you know what I mean? I might catch them live one time. You never know. I don't know if they've ever come around here. If so, it's probably on some like half decent free band tour, you know what I mean, with bands I'm not necessarily too fussed on. People like the max I'm paying to get into, I'm not even paying to get into events nowadays. Let's be real. I'm chatting up the door, man, and I'm just getting in. You know what I mean? I'll go down to my local DIY venue. I don't really attend. I'm not paying money to get into nowhere, to be honest. I'm one of them old heads. I'm one of them jaded old heads. I'll support the venue by paying at the bar. Just get me in. You know what I mean? I'm ahead. So I'll finish that off with that. It was a good record. I'm going to probably listen to another album by them. I might start from the start to see where the roots of this band is. Once again, peace out, Joel. I'm going. Goodbye.